Hello, good morning. It's Monday, September 25th. A couple of weeks ago, Hurricane Irma came through and left a path of devastation, destruction. A lot of big trees taken down here in Griffin, as it is elsewhere in Georgia. We're looking at a tree that's just on the other side of the property line. It's in my neighbor's property who owns several acres here in what we refer to as the jungle. Let me pan around, just sort of give you an idea just how this is. This goes all the way back through our property along that boundary with this particular neighbor. And well, this is definitely the worst that has ever happened as far as a tree or overgrowth from the jungle. And the damage that it's done to our property, the dangers that it has posed for quite a long time. The story of this property is that when we moved here 13 years ago, 14 years ago actually, 2003, Miss Leila Cheatham owned all of this property. We've always referred to it as the jungle because pretty much that's what it is. It's just a overgrowth of a lot of wisteria, privet, just a big mess. But while Miss Cheatham was alive, she was always extremely helpful. I had known her for a long time. I had done work for her since I was a teenager, installing draperies in her house. The draperies that my mother made, I'm sure those draperies are still hanging in some places in the big home over there on College. But anyway, I never had a problem with Miss Leila. She would help out. I could, if I had an issue with a tree or overgrowth, she'd let me know what she wanted me to do, and either she'd take care of it or she'd have me get with someone that could take care of it, and she would handle all the financial part of it. She was a great neighbor. There's a lot of responsibility that comes when you own this much property, especially in a city like this. You've got so many neighbors, I'm sure. Anyway, let's get close on this tree and start going through the damage that actually took place. This is a red oak. I don't know. It's quite an old tree. When this tree went down during Irma, northeast winds came through here and not only took this tree down, as we go down, you can see it sort of follows the fence line, and just as it approaches the road, before it gets to the street, it does actually get into our property with all the vines that are wrapped around it. And here's a good example. Let me sort of zoom in on this. Those are wisteria vines. Some of those vines are as big around as a baseball bat. I don't know how old they are, but those are the kind of vines that permeate this forest here next to us. And we have constantly battled this since we lived here. It's gotten actually out of control now. So anyway, we're going to have some relief in some form or fashion to at least get this property ready for sale at some point because of this overgrowth from the jungle. These vines just permeate this jungle, and they are the biggest nuisance of all that's contained in this jungle. Anyway, when the big tree went down, it's a red oak, when it went down, it took down a ash tree of considerable size itself. Now, you can see it just uprooted it. And the reason it came down, quite simply, was those same vines that were wrapped around the top and up the trunk of the red oak were also wrapped around this ash tree. Now this ash tree, as you can see, it just fell straight down into our yard. Took out this dogwood here, nice older dogwood. I'm gonna have to take it down. We have some bay laurel trees right here that I've been working on getting them trimmed up. Took those down as well. We had quite a bit of smaller trees too, some of it landscape trees, some of it smaller ornamentals that were taken out. This is quite the, as you can see, it's just quite a mess in here. I have a landscaper that takes care of this, maintaining this front yard for me, and he's done a great job. And now it's gonna look pretty bad, I think, when I clear all this out. I've been working on it piece by piece when I can, taking time off work and so forth. Anyway, we're gonna go out here to the street and see where the top of this tree, what's left anyway. This is brush that was taken to the street from our yard. That's a couple weeks worth of brush. I really don't have much more room here by the curb. But there's the remainder of the tree that was taken out by the city. Now, it took out the power, of course, and they had to cut into it to gain access to the street and where they could actually work in here and get power restored. As you can see, that's come along right there, just getting into that fence line. Now, that's not my fence, that's not our fence, but it was here when we moved, and it's the border between the jungle and our property here at 423 Tilney. There's another tree right there was taken out, and that looks pretty bad. I mean, I'm gonna probably have to do something with it. It's pretty much an eyesore. Those wisteria vines will cover it up in time, but it looks pretty bad right now. So anyway, that's what we've got here, and hopefully we can get some relief on this to try to at least clean up and get this fence back up. I know it's going to require some people with some heavier equipment than I have to remove this tree, but hopefully we can get something done about that. Have a good day.